basically, I hate Twilight. Self-explanatory, really. But it's starting to really annoy me again. I mean, I kind of got over it for a while. It was just, yeah, it's Twilight. People like it. I really don't. But now it's starting to annoy me all over again. But I don't know really why anymore. To start off with, it was because it was all everywhere and I wanted to be different. But now it's kind of got to a stage where kind of not just because it's different, just because it's kind of pointless, really. I mean, it's kind of hypocritical because you could say Harry Potter is pointless. We get so many haters for saying that. But at the end of the day, it's a book. But I'm quite a good reader. I like reading. And I tried to read Twilight because everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, you need to read it." So I thought, if I'm going to hate it, I need to have a baseline to why I hate it. So I did. So I did kind of start to read the second one after I'd watched the first film, and I sat and I read, I think, about up until the point where she cuts herself, and the colours were like, "Oh my god, blood!" So I read it up until that point. I started to fall asleep while reading it as well, which is odd for me and different. I don't really do that. I mean, usually if I don't like a book, I'll put it down. I won't touch it again. But this one I was really trying hard to read, so I could have a baseline. But it just didn't get that far. I just couldn't help but stop it. Just couldn't help it but just ignore it. It was something I just didn't want to read. So I just kind of left it. And then the second film came out, and I wanted to go see that with a friend. Oh my gosh, I really want you to come with me. It's my birthday as well, so you have to come. So I went, and oh, it annoyed me. No, as soon as they came out, I realised why I hated it. All my friends were like, "Oh my gosh, wow, it was really good. Did you see Jacob's muscles? Oh my gosh." I'm like, yeah, that's the only reason why you like it, isn't it? Because none of them read the books. I think actually maybe a couple of them had. I'm not sure, but I know one of them is really Twilight fan. It's like a really big one, and she hasn't read the books. She considers herself a fan that hasn't read the books. Although she doesn't read very much anyway, but still. So she read the books. She hasn't read the books, sorry. And they all came out and were like, "Oh my gosh, did you see Jacob's muscles? Oh, Edward looks so fit." And I realised it was because they all actually really liked the guy. It was just because they fancied the guys. That was it. And I realised that's why I hate it. Because it's all about, "Oh my gosh, he's so fit." That's all it's about. That's the only reason why it stands up for me. It's the only way I can see that it just kind of holds itself up is because the actors they chose are fit. Want a better word? And also because there's quite a lot of other things that it's I think it wouldn't stand on its own two feet if it didn't rely on the actors' looks. I think it would just be a couple of people who enjoyed the stories. Just kind of help, just kind of liked it. I think that'd be the only reason. Also, it's not like Edward, the one who plays Edward, Robert Pattinson. He can act. I mean, you look at him in no, I can't remember what he was in. He was in something that was really sad and everyone was crying. I think he died. Not the not the fourth Harry Potter, but he was good in that as well. But yeah, well, also because I don't really see how the others can act. They can act. I mean, they're not up there. I mean, it's Kristen Stewart. I'm sorry, whoever likes her, but she really can't. I really can't see how she can consider that. I mean, there's just one face really for every emotion. It's like an all-purpose face. So it doesn't really. I don't think that helps it either. Also, stories themselves. are quite frankly annoying. Really, what it is a love story involving magical creatures. That's really what it's about. I don't see how. Well, I can see how that could be a really good story. I mean, really, that's what Harry Potter is: love story and an action film. It's kind of got an action and mystery behind it as well, but it's basically a love story. And love stories don't really go well with me, apart from Pride and Prejudice. But that's because it's kind of a classic. No, but I would also take it glamorizes curses really. I mean, I'm not sure whether I believe in werewolves and vampires and that sort of thing, but either way, it still is incredibly annoying about how they glamorized it. Stephanie Meyer glamorized it. But suddenly, it's all suddenly, oh look, I'm a werewolf. It's fine, it doesn't hurt. All I'm going to do is suddenly, pop, I'm now a dog. It's, you know, it's just, that's not a werewolf. The whole idea of lycanthropy is that it's a, it's a curse. It's painful. It's meant to scare little children. And how is that scary? And then the whole fact with the werewolf or with the vampire, the whole vampire sparkles thing is completely utterly ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. Really, vampires kind of have to be gorgeous. That's kind of the idea of it. But the fact that he was sparkly, didn't really get that. They're meant to be gorgeous so that it can entice you in, so they can bite you. That's such a blunt. That's really kind of the whole idea why they have to be gorgeous and ageless and in their prime. So, I mean, what would you do if you saw a sparkly guy in the middle of the street, or even a girl, or if you just saw someone who was sparkly, what would you do? Because I know I'd run for the hills. Well, very sparkly. It kind of like not the fact that it's kind of sparkly, like glitter dust, glitter stuff. I mean, it's just the fact that it's like ultra sparkly. Wow, sort of thing. Whereas it's kind of not. It's kind of. I really don't see the point. And then this recent one kind of annoyed me. I mean, I kind of half watched it, and then it was Breaking Dawn. That was it. And then I kind of half read it as well. You know, read. And then kind of disappointed me. There was nothing really there. I mean, it was all very. Well, there was stuff there, but it was kind of like, oh, Bella and Edward are now together and engaged, and now they're married. Oh, look, they've now had a kid called Renesmee. And then they thought, oh, okay, they can leave it now. They can leave it now. They've got a kid. We'll be happy and live happily ever after. No, it continued, didn't it? So what happens now? Suddenly there's all this people. I don't really understand that bit. There's all these people like, oh my gosh, now we have to discuss like whether it should be killed and all this sort of thing. And then it was kind of disappointing. All they had was I think there were black capes attacking this one vampire, and that was it. I mean, I was expecting full-blown bloodshed. Not that I'm like kind of it wasn't very interesting. It was just kind of, oh, that is a dead guy, and then that was it. Everyone thought it was going to be this big build-up to this epic battle, but there wasn't. It was just kind of trailed off and left it. And then there's also the fact that they compare Twilight books to other fantasy books and other books in general. Like they compare it to Harry Potter and Pride and Prejudice and all these other books that are just genius. And then really, it's what I see as a middle-aged woman trying to write about teenage fantasy. Reading itself isn't that good. And then also there's the fact that Bella herself, the character, is kind of like is really a Mary Sue. Really what she is. Oh, very descriptive. And then there's the propaganda. The t-shirts, posters, hats, the stationery sets. I mean, t-shirt, hats? Really? There wasn't even any hats in the thing, apart from the one that Edward made out with. And then bags. But fair enough, you can never have enough bags. So it's fair enough. But they're all covered in these quotes that were cheesy and annoying to start off with, and then suddenly they're even more cheesy and annoying. And it just doesn't really help. Just doesn't really help at all. There's also morals in it. Morals are probably the worst bit in it. I mean, you have like Lord of the Rings, which is telling you. I mean, I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. I have been for a while actually. I even got to the stage where I started to learn Elvish. Oh, a bit of a geek. And that's kind of all about stick with what's right, go with it no matter what. Stick to things. And Twilight was kind of, get yourself a boyfriend. That's kind of it. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. So, comment, subscribe, I think subscribe is up, and have a good day. Oh my gosh, no, Devil's Spawn.